This is video 7B for our Systems Analysis and Design course, and it's entitled Choosing an Acquisition Strategy. This goes along with chapter 7 or topic 7 of our lecture, and is a companion for the book Systems Analysis and Design 7th edition by Dennis Wixom Roth, published by Wiley. I'm James Imrano, PhD, and I'll be taking you through this video presentation. So how do we choose which of the three ways to go? Well, we kind of talked about that in the last presentation, but I really wanted to stress what are the things that we use, the metrics that we use to make the decision or should use to make the decision. When to do custom? Well, we do custom when there's a unique business need. If it hasn't been done before, if it's new, if it's unique, if it's special, if it's proprietary, if it's top secret, you can't just give it to somebody else to do. You can't just outsource it. You can't go find a package to do it because nobody's ever done it before. So that's one of those things. You also need to have the technical and functional knowledge. If you don't have the people that understand the process, if you don't have the people that understand the tech, you're not going to be able to do the custom work. But if you've got the technical people and the functional people, then maybe custom's a good idea. If we're looking to build those internal knowledge, if we're looking to build that internal skill, we're looking to grow our company and maybe do something like this later on another problem, another system, it's maybe a great idea. We only should do it if we have a good track record with our project management and that we have a good methodology for project management, that we've done projects similar to this or that we've done other projects that we think we can leverage this management skill that we have, because it's going to take some seriously good project management skills. Even if you're doing it agile, even if you're doing it waterfall, I don't care. You still need good project management skills and methodologies, or it's all going to come falling down on you like a house of cards. And the last is, do you have the time? Is it something flexible? If we're doing it as an agile development, like a Scrum development, where we push out the tiniest little bit, start using it, add to it, start using it, add to it, and continue using it, add to it, and continue using it, then custom development kind of makes sense because we're doing it in-house, we're working with the teams, we're being very quick with our turnarounds on issues and problems, and the system is growing as we understand it, as it's being developed. That's maybe a place where internal and custom makes sense. Going with a package solution, though, really makes sense if it's a common business need. If it's something that's been done lots of times before and we just want to do it again, we're not doing anything special, that makes sense. Maybe if we've got the functional knowledge of how the function's supposed to work, but we don't have the technical knowledge. That would be another place where looking for a package, looking for something existing and bringing it in-house makes a lot of sense. If the skills are strategic to the operation of our business, if the skills are truly what our business is all about, if it's our R&D, if it's something of that sort, we can't just go buy a package to manage that or to do that because it's not, we're not like everybody else. That's what makes us different. That's what differentiates us. So if it's non-differentiating, if it's just something everybody does, packages make sense. So the skills aren't really strategic. Now, we're going to need some project management skills to coordinate with the vendor. We're going to have to do some project management skills to create our systems integration, to integrate this system with our existing systems. We're going to need project management to be able to do training and installation and all of that kind of thing. But the great thing about buying somebody else's system that's working for clients all around the world or all around the country or all around your industry is we should be able to do this relatively quickly. The time should be pretty quick. Boom, we bought it, here we go, bring it in-house, train it, we're up and rolling. So that's a real advantage to the package software, where in the custom development, we've got a long run time to get to it sometimes. But here, maybe we can jump right in. And when do we outsource? Well, we outsource when it's a non-core need. If it's something that the business can live without, generally, if it's something that is non-secret, it's non-special, we don't have the technical knowledge, we don't have the functional knowledge, we don't need the skills in-house over the future, we just need this done and get somebody else to do it, well then outsource it. Makes perfect sense. Um, but it still takes that good project manager to manage with the vendor and to control the scope of the outsourcing and to control the legal documents and the negotiations of that outsourcing contract and that outsourcing relationship. So it's still going to take serious project management, but outsourcing is great when it's a non core need and we don't have the knowledge functionally or technically, and we don't need the knowledge in house. For instance, payroll. It would be a something that I've seen outsourced very successfully over the years. Maybe outsourcing PC maintenance. We don't need a PC tech on staff. We've got a company to call, and they'll be here within hours. Or our cloud servers. I don't really need to understand how my cloud servers work. I outsource them. I buy them from Amazon, or I buy them from Google, or I buy them from Rackspace, or I lease them from Amazon or somebody else. And I don't really need to know how their cluster works. I don't need to know how their hardware works. I don't need to know any of that. I just need to know how to configure the virtual server, get my stuff on it, and access it. So a lot of the technical and functional knowledge of the back end of the server, back end of the operation, I don't need to know. I trust them. We've got a great contract. They've got a great record. It's secure. It's all of those things. Oh, well, that makes perfect sense to outsource that non-core need. And the thing about outsourcing is it can be very quick or it can be very slow. And it all depends upon the scope of the outsourcing. How much are we outsourcing? Are we outsourcing operation of this? Well, that could be a very quick one. Are we outsourcing the operation of this? Something huge, then it could take some significant time. The author of the textbook that I mentioned on the first slide in their book in chapter 7 show this thing they call an alternative matrix. Um, it's a nice kind of scoring system where we put all of the evaluation criteria down and we then create a score and then a weight for each of those criteria. So, for instance, technical issues criteria 1 has a weight of 20, but criteria 2 has a weight of 10. Um, and these weights could be any kind of numbers your organization wants. You may say, well, this is more important to us than this, so let's give that a higher weight. So that weight. Then we take an alternative. So this is an outsourcing quote that we've gotten from this company. So there's we score it, go down the list and give a score between 1 and 10, where 10 is great and 1 is horrible, or 1 and 5, or 0 and 5, where 0 is completely miserable and 5 is wonderful. So whatever we decide when we're creating this scoring matrix, and then what we do is we multiply the weight times the score to come up with a weighted score for each alternative. And then we add up all of the weighted scores. Here in this example, you can see that for alternative 1, the weighted score value is 350. For alternative 2, custom application using VB.NET. For alternative 2, custom application using Java, we've done another analysis, and because maybe we don't have the technical skills in-house to do Java, maybe there's a problem with the way our systems work that we just really don't like that. So we do a similar analysis and we come up with the score for Java being a total of 270. And then we look at a package source and say, well, we go through the list and based upon all of our alternatives, the package system looks to score out to about a 360. So the package is the better score. But developing it in-house using VB.NET is almost the very same score. Which one is the best? I don't know. At this point, they're both so close, you probably are going to put them side by side and then sit down with management and talk about the pros and cons and potentially the expenses tied into and the risk tied into those two to decide which one, even though the alternative matrix scored them equally or darn near equally. This concludes video 7B in our Systems Analysis and Design series. This video was copyright 2020 by James Imberno, all rights reserved, except for the image on the previous slide, and that was taken from the book Systems Analysis and Design by Wixom, published by Wiley, and the reference to that was on slide 1. I'd like to say thank you very much for watching, and I'm Dr. Renaud, and I'll see you in a future presentation.